Revelation 2277. From the 27th of March 1942. Rejecting God's love. Full congealment follow. God is love, and he will be full of mercy towards all beingness which still carries a spark of love within itself, because this spark of love is his share from eternity, and God will not let anything get lost which is from him. And therefore his care is eternally directed towards this spiritual substance which he tries to guide into the circuit of his love, so that the spark of love will increase and of its own accord long for him, for its place of origin. However, the increase of this divine spark of love is an act of the spiritual being's expression of will, that is, its will has to become active in order to receive God's emanation of love and let it become effective in itself. But if this will fails, then the spiritual being rejects God's love. It does not use what is offered to it in love. The spiritual being rejects God's love and thus God himself, and then divine love ceases to work. It withdraws from the being, and this signifies the complete solidification of that which was still capable of life, that is, could be active, under the influence of divine love. This solidification of the spiritual therefore occurs through the will of the spiritual itself, which is devoid of all love and thus no longer has any connection with God. And yet, God does not completely abandon it, that is, after an infinitely long time he gives it the opportunity anew to make itself worthy of God's love and to re-establish its connection with God. For his love lasts forever. And even the time of complete darkness and banishment in solid matter is an act of love by God, because it is intended to awaken the desire for light and freedom in the being, which is the first condition to ever achieve it. But light and freedom is the state of happiness which must be desired, that is striven for, in order to one day be the fullest happiness of this beingness. A forced being would never be able to attain the degree of happiness, for complete freedom of will is the prerequisite for supreme happiness. But God in his love wants to bestow this beatitude upon the being, and if the being itself, due to its lack of knowledge, resists the bestowal of this beatitude, its will can only be changed through thousands of years of imprisonment, which again is only based on God's love. For God cannot be other than full of love towards that which is of him, for if his love ceased, the created would also cease to be. Consequently, God's love for his creatures can never be denied as long as this beingness can still embody itself in creation, even if for the time being in the hardest rock. For his love always seeks to promote the spiritual's ascent, and he truly knows when and how this is possible, and when the possibilities remain unused in the stage as a human being. And then his infinite love determines him again to destroy that which has become purposeless due to people's will, for then the being will have to suffer the hardest imprisonment again in order to one day nevertheless be able to attain beatitude in fullest freedom. Amen.